Hello, welcome to Lesson 2 for B1 Intermediate Learners of English with me, Kate. Today we are looking at the present simple tense, specifically the rules for positive, negative and question phrases using regular verbs. We're not looking at anything irregular today. So let's get started. This is Danny. Danny is a footballer. But right now, he's not playing football. Right now, he is reading a book. He's not playing football, he is reading. But usually, it is a habit of his. It is something he does often. He plays football because he is a footballer. And we use here the present simple tense. So we use the present simple to talk about things in general. We use it to say that something happens all the time or repeatedly, like Danny playing football. It's a habit. He plays football. We also use the present simple when something is always true. For example, nurses look after patients in hospital. This is something that is always true, so we use the present simple. Or the earth goes around the sun. This is something that is always true, so we use the present simple. The cafe opens at 7:30 in the morning. Is this something that is always true? No, it's not always true. I'm sure there are some days it doesn't open at 7:30 in the morning, but we still use the present simple because it happens a lot, repeatedly. It's a habit of the cafes to open at 7:30 every morning. And so it's for that reason that we use the present simple here. Okay, so which of the following sentences describes a habit or something that is always true? Anya comes from Lublin in Poland. Anya comes from Lublin in Poland. Is that a habit or is that something that is always true? That's right. It's always true. What about this one? He cooks a big lunch every day. He cooks a big lunch every day. Is that a habit or is that something that is always true? That's right, it's a habit. It's not something that's always true. One day that will change, but right now it happens repeatedly. It's a habit. Okay, let's have a little look at how the verb is formed. Here I have subjects. I, you, we, and they. With these subjects in the present simple, the verb is kept in its infinitive form. I work, you play, we cook, they work. But when we are using the subjects he, she, or it, we add an S to the infinitive form of the verb. He works, she plays, it cooks. So let's put that into practice. Here I have 4 phrases. Each sentence is missing one verb. The missing verb could be drink, live, open, or speak. We're going to have a look at each sentence and decide which verb is missing and what form should it take. Should it have an S on the end? So let's look at number 1. Tanya, German very well. Tanya, German very well. We can see the subject of our verb is Tanya, which is a girl's name. What's the missing verb? What form should it take? That's right. Tanya speaks German very well. We have speaks with an S on the end because the subject is Tanya, which is the same as she. She speaks German very well. Let's look at sentence number 2. I don't often coffee. I don't often coffee. What's the missing verb? What form should it take? That's right. I don't often drink coffee. We don't have an S because the subject is I. What about number 3? The swimming pool at 7:30 every morning. The swimming pool at 7:30 every morning. What's the missing verb and what form should it take? Well done. The missing verb is opens, and we have an S. The reason for that is the subject is the swimming pool, which is the same as it. It opens at 7:30 every morning. And the last one, my parents in a small flat. My parents in a small flat. What's the missing verb? What form should it take? Well done. My parents live in a small flat. The missing verb is live. We don't have an S because the subject is my parents, which is the same as they. They live in a small flat. Well done. Okay, making questions with the present simple. In the present simple, our verbs need some help. So we use an auxiliary verb, the verb to do. And so we use the verb to do to make questions. For example, do I work? Do we play? Do you cook? Do they work? Now, with the subjects he, she, or it, you will notice the verb has lost its S. So where has that gone? It's gone at the end of the auxiliary verb. Does he work? Does she play? Does it cook? Okay, so let's put some of that into practice. Here's a sentence. I like cheese. The subject is I, the verb is like, the noun is cheese. Can you turn that into a question? Well done. Do I like cheese? The verb like needs the auxiliary verb do at the beginning. Do I like cheese? How about this one? He eats pizza on Fridays. How can I ask that as a question? Well done. Does he eat pizza on Fridays? You'll notice that the verb eat is back to its infinitive form. There is no S here, but our auxiliary verb do has ES on the end. That is because the subject is he. Does he eat pizza on Fridays? We also use the auxiliary verb to do to make negative sentences. For example, I do not work. We do not play. You do not cook. They do not work. But of course, we contract a great deal in English, so do not becomes don't. I don't work. We don't play, you don't cook. What about with the subjects he, she, and it? What form is the verb to do going to take? That's right, we're still using does, and let's not forget it's a negative sentence, so does not. He does not work, she does not play, it does not cook. We must remember to contract, so that becomes doesn't. Doesn't. He doesn't work. She doesn't play. It doesn't cook. Well done. Okay, so let's put that into practice. I like cheese. We know that question. Do I like cheese? How can I turn that into a negative sentence? That's right. I don't like cheese. Excellent. I don't like cheese. Let's try another one. He eats pizza on Fridays. We know as a question. Does he eat pizza on Fridays? How can I turn that into a negative sentence? Well done. He doesn't eat pizza on Fridays. Now it's your turn. Put this sentence into the question form and the negative form. Anya comes from Poland. Anya comes from Poland. How can I ask this as a question? Well done. Does Anya come from Poland? Does Anya come from Poland? What about putting that sentence into the negative form? The negative form. Anya doesn't come from Poland. Anya doesn't come from Poland. Well done. Let's try another one. Put this sentence into the question form and the negative form. He cooks a big lunch. He cooks a big lunch. Can you ask that as a question? Does he cook a big lunch? Does he cook a big lunch? And put it into the negative form. He doesn't cook a big lunch. He doesn't cook a big lunch. Brilliant. Well done. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this lesson. Please, can you write this sentence in the question and negative form in the comments below? The sentence is, I learn English on Mondays. I learn English on Mondays. Can you write that as a question? Can you write that as a negative? Please also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to show your support. And coming up in the next lesson in the B1 Intermediate series, Lesson 3, Adverbs of Frequency. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.